Oops, a bit high. You're looking at 22 now?
22, yeah.
Right, now they're asking for what? The standard error?
Yes.
And that's the difference between these two sample proportions. And so you won't really use salt to do that. And then you have to find a 90% confidence interval for the difference between these two.
Like I could calculate it, but the thing is like it's giving me salt table. How do I even use it?
We don't use it. Is the short answer for that question.
Okay, I just want to make because I was like, I'm trying to plug the numbers in.
Yeah, is it working fine for you, getting those kind of numbers we're talking about?
Yeah, like I'm able to calculate it just perfectly fine, and I was able to watch the video that's on there. But I was like, okay, but since there's salt table,
okay, let's try it. I've never used it for this. I've used it for other things, but here goes. Use salt. Okay, hopefully when you hit it, it remembers what question you're in. Right, so it's one sample. No, it doesn't. So yeah, I'm going to have to go back in and write down numbers. It's 2 samples. So the first one has 2000 in it, and the second one has 1993 in it. No, it isn't. The first sample has 2,405, and I was looking at the years.
Okay, I was like,
the second sample is 1488, and P1 hat is 0.312, and P2 hat is 0.226, and X1, which is the people who said yes, is 751, and X2 is 337. So basically, all the numbers that were in that table, I've now written down so I can get them. So it's going to be a 2 sample. It's a proportion, so it's 2 sample proportion. Number of successes, 751. Out of a total of 2405. And for the second one, the second variable, it was 337 yeses, 337 successes, out of 1488. And hit confidence interval and type in, I forgot, was it 90%?
Oh, let me see.
We can pretend it's 90, but if it was 95, you just say 95 there. And when I hit generate results, boom, there's your lower limit, there's your upper limit, and there's your standard error.
But how would I know how many percent like confidence interval to put in? Do I just?
It would need to be in the question. So when I go to the question, they said 90% confidence interval.
Okay.
So that's why that's 90. Now, if you had a 99% confidence interval, you just do that and generate results.
Got it.
And if you wanted a 90%, you would do that and generate the results. The results, as far as what they were looking for, these two numbers are the lower and upper limits, right? The start and the finish number. And this guy here is your standard error.
Got it.
But I mean, if you prefer this, because it
would be nice to be able to check my answer too.
Yeah, then feel free to do it. I don't have any problems with it. I've just never used it.
Yeah. Okay.
It becomes a little magic because all you're doing is putting numbers in and software says, hey, here's the answer. And you really don't know what you're doing because you're not doing anything except putting numbers in. So that's kind of why I avoided it. But it's definitely there. If I was doing it practically, right? If I was doing it as a job, I would be using salt or something similar. Right? Yeah. I wouldn't do things by hand. But at least I know in the back of my head, if I had to do it by hand, I know what the calculations would be and I'd know how I'd go about it. It's just analogy. You know, I know how to multiply 5-digit numbers by 5-digit numbers.
Yeah. No, it's
So
just like
I'm going to
long
use a calculator if you tell me to do it.
yeah, it's a really long calculation process. I'm like, oh my gosh, it has to be a faster way if it's giving me an option to do it. I just want to
Right.
learn.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
that's all I need. Oh, and then the email I sent to you about